Hello everybody, Shogunator 1000 here reporting for duty. Welcome back to an episode of Pokemon Legends Arceus. In the last episode, we did more hunting here in Coronet Highlands, hopefully to try and get ourselves a bonsly, but did not fulfill. Now the reason why you saw me save a screenshot is because this is technically the definition of me finding the bonsly I was telling you about last episode. They only show up when you find an ore deposit shaking like this. So, I saved the game and tossed the Pokemon, and there you go. Bonsly pops up right out there. So, let's go straight in and throw an Ultra Ball because literally, of the repeated Pokemon encounters, this is the only one I got left. Because there are one-of-a-kind Pokemon encounters you can pick up from the minute of unlocking Volo's post-game story. So far we have encountered every single Pokemon. So far. So the only food that Bonsly likes is crunchy salt. Kinda checks out considering that you can only find them in Coronet Highlands. But anyway. Oh wow, we got a plain mass outbreak of God of War and 2 massive mass outbreaks. So you know what? Let's save the game out here. And let's see what the mass outbreak for God of War is. And if it's no big, then we'll just go to Obsidian Fieldlands. Because honestly, yeah. The Rolls family are my all-time favorite Pokemon families that are not legendary. But it's not my favorite Pokemon outright. My absolute favorite Pokemon outright is in my YouTube icon, Meloetta. Even though you do see Meloetta with purple hair, when Meloetta does not normally have purple hair. The reason why is because, obviously, I like the colour purple. The one and only colour I was known to enjoy was green, but then I started to grow a fondness in enjoying the colour purple frequently since sometime around last year. So I basically have a fondness for the colour purple. And okay, nothing big. It's just 4 regular Gardevoirs. Oh, whoop, hang on, whoa. Sorry. Did not realize it by default went to my main profile. We don't want to go to my main profile, we want to go to my spare profile. And in fact, every single game I currently have on my Switch 2, they were basically all games I had on my Switch OLED. I'm basically in a decisive fate about which games I want to have on my Switch OLED and which games I want to have on my Switch 2. Because my Switch 2 does not have enough storage space for everything. Even though it actually said in the advertisement it has a total of 256 gigabytes of data, which isn't enough for every game I had on my Switch OLED. I am not joking. Because I didn't really get a micro SD express card on the day when I got my Switch 2. And there was like a total of 10 games that were not successfully able to be downloaded because there was not enough storage space for them. And I would have thought that there would have been. but there wasn't. Oh wow, 2 alpha Drifloons sat literally right next to each other. Okay, so curious to see what the outbreaks are here. We have a Luxio. We got, no surprises, Zubat. Okay, next one's across the water. Go under the Worn Bridge. Starly. No surprise on that one either. Wow. The outbreaks are not being very surprising at the minute. So far, every single Pokemon has been a Pokemon that you normally find in this area. Zubat, Luxio, Starly, and Geodude. What next? Are we going to be getting a Wurmple? Or Silcoon? Or even a Cascoon even? Doesn't matter which one. Weasel. Yep, not surprised on that one either. You're not really making this entertaining game. Really not. Because it would make sense to have a mass outbreak of Pokemon in areas that are not normally known to be found there. That mass outbreak of Staravia. You find Staravias there normally in the daytime. And I do actually find it weird how the static alpha Pokemon that are normally found in a corresponding area, they all disappear whenever a massive mass outbreak occurs. But then as soon as the massive mass outbreak disappears, they then suddenly show up. Oh, apart from this alpha Infernape. And in case, this area over here where you got these Ponytas, this was the location of me when I played Legends Arceus, where I caught my very first ever shiny, which was shiny Spheal. Sorry, this is important to me. Okay, I was imagining it. I thought I heard the shiny sound. I didn't. I imagined it. That's actually something that's actually been happening to me recently with Legends Arceus. It's like, I'm just playing the game randomly, just navigating each area to see, oh, will I find a shiny? And then I'm just hearing the ding in my head, and I'm thinking, wait, was there a shiny? And then I find out, no, there wasn't. Mass outbreak was Graveler, why am I not surprised? Right, so 3 outbreaks left. We'll just warp over to the Grand Tree area. Oh, we can't warp because we've got an aggro Pokemon. Guarantee Alpha Cricketune. Okay, Alpha B-Barrel always stays there. I guess the reason why I thought that the Alpha Pokemon disappeared is because you never see Alpha Rapidash when the massive mass outbreak is happening. As far as I believe. Because every time when I've had a massive mass outbreak happen in Obsidian Fieldlands, I have not had Alpha Rapidash show up once. But then it immediately showed up the very moment the mass outbreak disappeared and the rainstorm. Right, one mass outbreak left. And so far, this mass outbreak thing has been a disappointment. I mean, 2 Geodudes and a Graveler, Starly and Staravia, Luxio, Subat, Weasel, Kricketot, Pichu, Ponyta, and Scyther. And I bet this last one is going to be a Shinx. Nope, it was a Sora. The one and only time that a mass outbreak was not of a regular Pokemon as found here. Oh, dear me. Okay, let's wipe out these Saruras. Because I actually want to see if I can show you guys shiny Hisuian Sarura. Because they look really cool. In fact, honestly, regardless of which form of Sarura you have as a shiny, they both look amazing. They really do. Changing the colour of white to black and the red hair to blue hair. Is how it looks. So yeah, I know I basically spoiled what Hisuian Sarura's shiny looks like, but to be honest, this game has been out since 3 years, so obviously you would know what Hisuian Zoroark's shiny looks like, and even Sarura. You obviously know what their shiny looks like because you've hunted for it. You've even seen PM7 celebrate getting a shiny Hisuian Sarura countless times. Like, I would say he's done it a total of 2, maybe 3 times. Because all I know for definite is the last time he caught himself a shiny Hisuian Sarura was when he did that challenge video 1 week before the Nintendo Direct that talks about Pokemon Legends CA, where he was to catch a shiny Pokemon of each letter of the alphabet. And the very last Pokemon that he caught in the sea was obviously Sarura. Because otherwise it would have been Swilus. Because I think Swilus and Sarura are the only sea Pokemon I can think of in the Switch games that can be caught. Well, Zygarde as well. But I don't think he would have taken the time of doing the Dynamax Adventures just to get himself a shiny Zygarde. Because that's the only way you can even get one. Right, okay. Just one Sarura left. Right, is there going to be a new outbreak? No. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. So that's all the outbreaks done. Well, checked, at least. So now that we've registered basically every single Pokemon that we can register, we now focus on doing Volo's quest at long last. Hello, there you are! He's waited, technically, 12 episodes just to tell us about this. Have a look here, if you will. A good long close look, please. See these patterns modelled after Pokemon? I've come to think that they might be letters. Oh, actually, do you think? I've come to think that they might be letters rather like hieroglyphs, if you will. I've inspected ruins across the region and have concluded that they all seem to tell the same tale. The tale of a brave soul who, together with the Pokemon at his side, went on a journey to search for the fragments of an all-encompassing deity. So with these then, so we got A for Arceus. I can't tell the other two. I can see Azelf, I can see what looks like Regigigas. I can see Mesprit and Uxie. No, those silhouettes look too... Oh, okay, that was Basque Legion, never mind. Yeah, I can't tell the definition of every single one of them because it looks too faint. Yes, an all-encompassing deity, the creator of this very universe, and its name is... Arceus. Perhaps you've already heard his name. Don't ring a bell. But that device you have. I was able to get a good look at it while we were visiting the lakes. You say it's called an arc phone, correct? I could swear that it has some sort of tie to Arceus. But now, let us discuss the fragments. They must surely be the plates. Yes, the very plates you collected as you went about quelling about all the frenzied nobles. Haven't you noticed that they all have words carved on their backs? Go on, give them a read. We read the text back on the first plate you obtained. That is not the first plate we obtained. The very first one we obtained was the mind plate. That's the flame plate. The original one breathed alone before the universe came. This original one is none other than the Pokemon known as Arceus. So what do you say, Bella? I think we should try to gather all of the plates. And I got just the idea where to start our search. Join me in the heart of Grueling Grove. Grueling Grove is basically where you find the guarantee Alpha Heracross. So we're going to head straight down over there. Not going to have anything distract us now. We do not need to do shiny hunting. We do not need to do any Pokemon hunting. We just need to focus on the task at hand now. So we've got to run down over here, and there he is. Thankfully there was no Alpha Heracross here. Now, Bella, according to my own investigations... What? An Alpha Vespiquen? Terribly sorry, Bella, but could you think you could handle it? I was expecting this, and I did not want to lead with my Hisuian Decidueye. And that's why. I was actually wanting to lead off with Goodra. We'll go for Water Pulse, and it's going to be boosted because of the rain. Okay, that did not do as much damage as I hoped it would. But then again, Vespiquen is a defensive Pokemon, so I wouldn't put it past. Right. I could technically go for a strong style Dragon Pulse, but regular one would have done. Level 68 for Umbreon. And upon defeating that Alpha Vespiquen, we get the Stone Plate. Because the Alpha Vespiquen was actually known to use Power Gem a lot of the time, but it didn't do in this case. Why did that Alpha Pokemon have the plate we were looking for? Maybe he just happened to find the plate lying around? In any case, that's the only other plate that I had any information about, so that's that. And yet nothing seems to be happening, which makes me suspect there must still be more plates left out there for us to find. Not to worry though, I know the perfect person to ask. She's bound to know all about the plates. The one and only Mistress Cogita, yes! You haven't had the chance to properly thank her for her help in obtaining the red chain, am I right? All the more reason to pay her a visit, so onward to the ancient retreat. But to do that, we have to actually leave Obsidian Fieldlands to Jubilite Village and then go straight back again. And this was basically the reason why I focused on completing the Pokédex first, as well as the massive mass outbreaks, before chasing up after Volo. Because what we're going to be doing now is hunting for these plates, but all of these plates are going to be tied for obtaining every other Pokemon in the Pokédex that comes after Lucario. Because you see, we have yet to register Azelf. We have yet to register the other Lake Guardians, Mesprit and Uxie. We have yet to register any Pokemon that sat between Palkia and Fion. So, in other words, the only Pokemon that we got left to register in the Pokédex are legendary Pokemon. And there are a bunch of them. How convenient, there's a massive mass outbreak here and a regular mass outbreak of Basculin here. But we're going to the ancient retreat. And we'll go meet her inside the house. Oh, lost one. It's miraculous what you've done. It seems the red chain served its purpose well. And you carried out your duty as you were bid. But what brings you here? Have you yet need of me? It's about the plates. Ah, yes. A tale whose origins lie a millennium or two ago. Those were the days of the ancient Sinnoh people, from whom I am descended across of many generations. These forebears of mine worshipped Arceus as the Pokemon that created the Hishui region, and I have heard of certain fragments, place as they are called, that were given to the ancestors of Pokemon such as Kleavor and Weirdeer. Is that all? I thought that surely you would tell us more about Arceus and the plates. I'm afraid I have nothing new to tell you. Why, the Diamond and Pearl clans would never have confused Dialga and Palkia with their creator, Arceus, had anything concrete been passed down. If only we had more to go on, the answers to these mysteries may even shed light on why Bella here fell from the sky. Ah, I see what you intend. Very well, I'll help as best as I can. There are still other tremendous Pokemon in Hishui, other mysteries to be solved. Whether they are connected to Arceus, I cannot say for certain, but in searching them out, perhaps you'll stumble upon the path you seek. Let me think. There are the Pokemon of the lakes, of course, and the Temple Giant, the Crescent Moon, the volcano, and perhaps you might even return to the very beginning. Now then, what would you hear of? The beginning. Indeed, a beginning for you, certainly. Where was it you first fell to earth here? The Plate of Prelude Beach. Yeah, basically highlight each and every one of these and you'll get a specific quest tied to finding that plate. So we got a plate found in Prelude Beach, we have one found in Snow Point Temple, We have the Crescent Moon one, found somewhere in the Moonview Arena. We have the Volcano, which is on Firespit Island. And of course, the Lake Guardians that helped us get the red chain. These quests are mandatory for you to complete in order to proceed in this post-game. And each and every one of them hosts a legendary Pokemon for you to catch. The place of the lake, we have to catch Mesprit, Uxie, and Azelf. It's just as I had suspected. Pokemon are the key to our search, Bella. If we can gather all the plays from them and decipher the messages on the backs of the plays, at last, perhaps we can meet Arceus himself. You should go search for the Pokemon that Kogita mentioned, Bella. I have my own avenues of research that I'd like to pursue. Arceus, creator of all Hishui. I truly can't wait to see what kind of Pokemon it might be. Yeah, Volo is definitely showing his energetic enthusiasm to research. But upon entering Jubilee Village, Commodore greets us. I've had a message from Mistress Kogita. I'm told you're collecting plates of some sort with that merchant Volo. Then we must go to Prelude Beach. Meet me there. Yeah, we're going to be tackling this firsthand. Turn around. Right. I'm going to make sure I have the right Pokemon in the lead for this. And I believe I do actually want to lead off with the Walrein. So there's Commodore, stood in his battle armor. Prelude Beach, indeed a place of beginning. Now is not the time for words. Face me in battle. God, my voice went for a second then. Oh, God. So, the team that Commodore uses in this fight are exactly the same as they were when we fought him outside the Spear Pillar. We get to move first, nice. Okay, Heracross next, and oh boy, that ain't good. Oh, he's going to attack twice because Swords and his guns is like a fast-paced move kind of thing. Okay, might as well just go for a regular liquidation at this point. Because I had a feeling that Strong Side would have actually done 75% of his health roughly. So, right. I don't have any Pokemon that happens to have a flying move. So, we'll just go for Decidueye. And we'll finish off Heracross with Psycho Cut. Because obviously he used close combat. Now for Braviary. We'll do as much damage as we can. We're not wasting revives, we're not wasting healing potions. Obviously he is. We got a critical hit, that would have been really nice. Not gonna lie. Right, let's bring out Umbreon next. Go for a Snarl. Okay, Snorlax is next. That's kind of a big bummer because of me losing Decidueye. But that doesn't necessarily mean that all hope is lost, because I do still have Heracross in the back. Nice critical hit there on Beyond. Ah, it's switching out. So you can bring out Clefable. Let's go for a Snarl again. It's not going to be very effective, but it's going to make it harder for him to knock out my Umbreon. Unless he does that. Oh, okay. I was going to say, wait. Your stats actually went back to normal rapidly? And then realized, oh, right, it's because he used Calm Mind. At least it doesn't really stack. Like, you get to use Calm Mind 6 times, so you can become +6 in special defense. So yeah, switching out Goodra, we're going to open up with a Acid Armor. And then go for a Sludge Bomb. It's kind of ironic how I still do not have a Steel type move on Goodra, when I could just incidentally give him Flash Cannon. It would honestly be helpful. Commodore, I do have a time limit here. I have gone over the 30-minute mark. There you go. Thank you, Goodra. Now just go deal with the Snorlax again. It's going to use, yep, high horsepower. Right, let's do as much damage as we can, Goodra. Help out Heracross. We're going to switch him in. Nice. Okay, thank you, Goodra. Give yourself a good rest. Heracross, you're next up. Ooh. Oh, actually, we get the attack twice. Okay, good. I feel like my foot wants to crack. But there we go. This was the first task of that plate. The beginning, going to Prelude Beach. You have a Pokemon battle against Commodore, and upon defeating him, you've grown even stronger since we faced one another on Mount Coronet. It's clear you do not view Pokemon as dangerous enemies, but rather as trustworthy allies. Allies with whom you can reach great heights. Perhaps you are a divine being yourself, sent to bring us gifts from above. Here, you should have this. We get the Fist Plate. When the very first of our Galaxy Expedition team, myself, Benny, and the others set foot in Prelude Beach, we found that plate. It clearly held some kind of power, and so I've kept it safe all this time. I find it fitting that it should now end up with you, who likewise arrived here on this same beach. Perhaps something is guiding us. Indeed, it must be so. You and I, Adaman, Irina, it'll appear we're all being guided by the one called Almighty Sinnoh. It might be more appropriate to call this region the Sinnoh region. I know I've no right to say this, but we are truly fortunate to have been able to count you among the Survey Coast ranks. If you had not joined us, we would have fallen on Mount Coronet. We would have lost our home. We would have lost our future. Now then, carry on your survey work. The knowledge that you collect about the wild Pokemon in this region will serve to illuminate our path forward as we walk into the future. I was going to stop his voice midway through because it was going to hurt my throat otherwise. Based on Cookie Eater's hints, it seems there might be 4 more plates left for you to find. We are going to be tackling them in the next episode, but something else I want to pay attention to real fast before I end off the episode. There are 2 specific side quests I would want to tackle, and I hope they appeared right now. A Clefairy's Moonlit Dance, no. Taste of the Honey. At Home Under the... No, it's not. There are 2 quests that are meant to pop up on this chalkboard, but unfortunately they have not popped up. I believe they are to be post-game specific. So, next time on Legends Arceus, we're going to be tackling the other quests to get the last 4 plates. See you guys then.